he had his brief phone call with Prime Minister Modi to wish him a happy birthday. So this decision to impose high fees on the H-1B visa program, it's another indication that the relationship is still in a bad state. The path to any type of reset in the relationship, the path to stabilizing this relationship and moving away from the crisis, with President Trump, you always know you're going to get something memorable, and indeed it was a very memorable speech. It was extremely undiplomatic. It was at times seemingly rambling, didn't appear to make much sense. But there were several things that stood out, and one of them was his decision to once again blame India for sponsoring Russia's war in Ukraine. And of course, this comes not long after he had his brief phone call with Prime Minister Modi to wish him a happy birthday. So, to me, the takeaway for me from that speech, among others, was that we have not yet seen a reset in the U.S. India relationship. I've been saying for quite some days that the path to any type of reset in the relationship, the path to stabilizing this relationship and moving away from the crisis, is to have a trade deal. And so I think it is significant that even with tensions as high as they've been, we have continued to have trade talks in recent days, and there's no reason to think that those talks are going to stop anytime soon. If we get a deal, which won't be easy, but if we do get a trade deal, that would be a big confidence building measure. It would restore some trust in the relationship, and it would also reduce what has really been one of the biggest tension points in the relationship during this crisis, and that's the very high U.S. tariffs that have been imposed on India. This decision to impose high fees on the H-1B visa program, it's another indication that the relationship is still in a bad state, even after we had that phone call between Trump and Modi. And I think that the H-1B visa issue is very significant for the relationship because it's contributed in a big way to broader commercial relations, and it has really bolstered people-to-people ties. And it also, I think, has been a big part of the tech partnership between the U.S. and India, given that you have a number of Indian tech companies that have benefited from this program and the workers that are in the U.S. on that program. And given that we have heard previously the Biden administration and more recently early on in the second Trump administration an emphasis on how technology is one of the main pillars for this new phase in U.S.-India relations. But if we're going to have these steps that make it much more difficult for Indian tech workers to be based in the United States, well, that represents or would represent a pretty significant blow to U.S.-India tech relations.